Hello guys, and welcome back to HJW Gaming. In this video I am bringing you a massive Mathom opening, a combination of various subscribers and friends of my fellowship opening the previously available Midsummer treasure sack. So this will be 100% gear being given here, and you do get some fantastic pulls going through. We're actually going to start with 50 of my own, following on from my previous video on this. So I just thought I'd bring in with this, and then we'll just give credit where due to those who have provided videos, and thank you to everyone who has done so. So yeah, for those who weren't aware, Midsummer Treasure Sack was a chest available a few weeks ago that gave pretty much only gear, but gave guaranteed gold gear at a rate which was significantly higher than was available through regular chests. So it was a very, very popular chest and opened by a lot of people. You can see here within 15-20 Mathoms we'd already picked up 2 pieces of gold gear, and that's without even hitting the guarantee. I think it was 25 Mathoms was guaranteed a gold, and every time you hit a gold it would reset. So yeah, this chest was fantastic. So we're going to be seeing a huge amount of gold gear here. We've already had an Elven White Knife, we've had an All Thanks Devilry as well, and here we actually get a Perseverance Blazing Tongue as well, which is amazing because it means that I can fully refine my Blazing Tongue. For those who've watched my season guides, you'll have seen how well that's, or my season content, you'll have seen how well that's been going for me so far. So it's only 50 Mathoms from me here before we get into other people, but yeah, amazingly in 50 Mathoms here we pick up 4 gold items here with a cruel hook as well. So just awesome to see. With a few more Mathoms to go, I do continue opening. Don't get any in the 5 Mathoms left, but I do decide to use some of the remainder of my gems. So with 5 more openings, see what I get. And I do pull a 5th gold item here with Hammer of Moria. So the equivalent of 55 Mathoms, 5 gold items available. Just shows how powerful this chest can be for those who did open it. And so we'll see what other people who opened it as well, what they came out with. First up here we have Chris. So for those of you who are following my season content for the last 2 seasons, Chris is the leader of the Dharm Fellowship, so a fellowship I have been facing off, and within his first 15 Mathoms, his first pull is an Axe of Khazad-dûm, which is insane to see. Obviously probably the best item in the game at the moment. So yeah, Axe of Khazad-dûm right off the bat is insane to see. An agility effect isn't too bad either. He then moves on to, for some reason, open single items, but picks up a Perseverance High Elf Helm, which is incredible again, and also a High Elf Hauberk. So this is wild. He's opening 1 by 1 for some reason, but yeah, High Elf Hauberk again for that unit defense is just an incredible, incredible item. And the High Elf Helm is great as well because it also offers initiative as well as unit defense, so it's very useful for a lot of commanders, but particularly commanders like Sauron. And a combination of Axe of Khazad-dûm and High Elf Helmet is pretty decent as well for use with DD commanders. So he's got 117 Mathoms left here. Picks up his 3rd item, which is the Hammer of Moria, again with agility. Or 4th, sorry. So I think that's 4 in about 40 Mathoms, which is about the rate that I've seen coming through, in that you normally pick up 1 every 10 or so Mathoms. So finally back to opening 5 at a time. Speed it up a little bit for you guys. No luck so far in his next ones, but 25 in on the guarantee. He does get another incredible item. So while he's not getting the rate quite the same as others, getting a Drums of Barad-dûr with Warcry. Warcry is a pretty decent effect, increasing damage at the minute by, I think with a 2-piece set it's 10%, and with a 4-piece set 24%. You know, combine that, you've got the High Elf Hauberk and the Axe of Khazad-dûm. Those are all incredible items for DD commanders, so huge pulls there. You get a Black Mace, which will probably be used mainly for strengthening, I imagine. Similar with this Bone Armour as well, though it does have the Might effect, which is decent. And his next 5, he does get the Sand Claw as well, with evasive action. A Sand Claw, again, is a brilliant item, as it offers initiative, so very similar to if you're trying to buff up a Sauron. And again, the sigil here, which with fortitude, which is a good effect, and the sigil again is a good focus item with added initiative, good for commanders like Gandalf the White. So the pulls he's getting here are absolutely incredible. Double pull on this one, picking up a Elven Cloak and a Hunter's Guide. Hunter's Guide, of course, being a very meta item in Rise to War Classic, less so nowadays unless PBE comes in absolutely clutch. But and on his 5 here with the last of his gems, he does pick up a black bow with Fortitude, another incredible item. And after a quick gem back up, Chris is back with some more openings, as obviously he was so happy as I would be with the incredible pulls he's had so far. Decided to open a few more, and his first gold item of this set of gems, 46k, is a Lang. And on his next 5, he also picks up a Swan Helm. So whilst not quite the same meta level, and a War Helm in his next 5, so 3 in 15. That is insane. 4 in 20 with the Harad Cask, which isn't a too bad item either. 5 in 25. So every 5 at the minute he is picking up. And then the streak gets broken. But Jesus, that was insane. They might not be the same meta level items as his first openings, but they're still incredibly high rate pulls here for Chris, which is insane to see. So he's got a lovely mix of insanely meta items with the Axe of Khazad-dûm, High Elf Hauberk and various like that. And again here with the Reach of Riddermark, which is incredible for its initiative, focus and might. Great combination of very meta items, and also just the volume of items he's picking up here is insane, with another High Elf Hauberk, this time with Fortitude as well, so that is a really top tier pull again. Getting some absolutely insane luck here for Chris, and with that looks like that's the end of his opening, but wow, what a pull, that is insane, so well done Chris. Next up we have Raiyne, who plays in my home fellowship. In his first 5 he does pull an Elven Cloak with Evasive Action, another decent item. Potentially not the most meta item at the moment, but still not too bad at all. So next 5 he picks up an Iron Bassinet, which again useful for strengthening and great to get items at this kind of rate. But not the most meta item, particularly with Warcry. You can see here Raiyne's got massive amounts of gems and Mathoms ready to open. I think he opens 300 in total here, which is great to see. His next gold here is the Harad Cask with Might. We've seen quite a few of those so far, with Chris picking up a couple as well. Raiyne's not quite getting the same luck-wise as Chris for rate as well as meta items, but he does get a double pull here of a Night Star and a Plate of the Citadel. Again, both not particularly meta items, as neither focuses particularly on one stat. Plate of the Citadel can be useful for like unit defense, but there are purple items that offer the same amount, so maybe not the best. Same with Lothlorien Belt. It's not particularly a meta item, but the rate with which Raiyne is picking up gold items now does seem to have picked up, unless I've spoken too soon. But it's just great to see he's picking up plenty of gold items here, with another one with the Defender of the Mountain with Perseverance. He is picking up a lot of gold items here, so even if they're not fully meta, they can be fantastic for strengthening, though he does pick up here a Signet of the Barrows, which again, as I said earlier, very good item with good initiative, and a Dawn in the next one, which is actually the new item added to the Season Pass, so maybe that'll be more effective in the future. Continuing on, what can Raiyne get in his remaining Mathoms? Looks like I think the next one is his guarantee. It is. He gets a bone armor this time. Again, he's not getting the most luck with meta items here. Picking up, it does have agility, which is a decent effect, but as the item has no initiative, there's not a huge amount of synergy. Next up, we get a Mithril Coat. Again, going to be very good for strengthening, as Commander defense doesn't really have any value in the current meta, especially with the changes coming in PBE. Though he does get a much better item with the Fine Smoking Pipe. Unfortunately, it does have the Flay effect, which means that you could ignore some of the opponent's defense, which damage dealt by focus does regardless. So no need for Flay to be on it. And then he does pick up kind of the first reasonably meta item here, which is the Miras Reins, which as I mentioned earlier with Sauron, is a good item for Sauron, as it does give him strong initiative, which may not be that useful in PBE, but is useful currently. Same with the Explorer's outfit as well. Both items have the capability to, when fully strengthened, give +6 initiative. Unfortunately, neither of them have agility, which would have been the perfect effect on both of them, but still good items to pick up and could be useful for refinement in the future. Carrying on then, so I think he's used about 200-ish Mathoms here. He does pick up a Morgul Blade, which is his first kind of decent weapon here. Gives good damage and good focus and initiative, so very good for Gandalf the White, particularly when it has evasive action on it as well. I think evasive action's a very effective, useful effect on for Gandalf the White, and of course will become more meta after PBE changes. Moving on, he does get his next fairly meta item with the High Elf's Helmet. Again, another item that can give +6 initiative, so good for Sauron. But unfortunately, again, as the Law of the Arcane set, the synergy between set effects and items are not going well for Raiyne here, but the abilities of his items, or at least the strength of his items, are at least increasing. Hunter's Cry here, Hunter's Guide, sorry, with Warcry. Again, not the best item, but useful for strengthening. Hopefully there's something really meta that comes in for Raiyne here. Another good item here with the Call of the Forest. And Call of the Forest with agility. Okay, that's his first really, really good pull, I think. So again, there's another item that can give up to +6 agility, +6 initiative. And with the agility effect, that is enormous. That is a huge item. Very meta at the minute for both Gandalf the White and Sauron. So Call of the Forest, incredible. Next up, he picks up a High Elf Hauberk, which is a very good item, as I've stated earlier, for unit defense. Continuing on through, he's going to get his guaranteed item in the next 5, and it is a Ranger Shroud, so troop support. Not useful in current meta, but maybe more beneficial in PvE. Unfortunately, thick armor is not the best effect in the world to give +20 defense. Could give a good balance of unit attack and defense potentially, but I don't think it will be used by Raiyne. His rate has slowed down somewhat. He seems to be picking them up, particularly in the guaranteed 25 at the second, which is unfortunate. But he does get a double pull on this one here. So he gets both the Miras Rains, as I mentioned earlier. Again, unfortunately, Warcry is not the best effect for it. But he has had 2 of those now, which means good refinement for that command stat. And he actually gets the Box of Knowledge as well. More useful for strengthening, really, as Box of Knowledge isn't particularly meta because it's lack of focus on kind of any one stat. But with that, we'll say thank you to Raiyne and move on to the next one. Up next, we have Bean, who is kind of Home's resident Mathom Lord, getting ridiculous luck from every tip and chest he opens, so almost guaranteed to get great luck here. And he does with his first 2, gets a Lang in the first one and a Perseverance Morgul Blade in the second, not too bad at all. He's going to be opening 150 Mathoms here. On his, I think it's his 20th Mathom, he does pick up an Elven Cloak here with Might. Not the best set effect, but again, a 4th item very quickly after with an Evasive Action Wizard Hat, which I think is a very strong item. Gives out a good amount of focus, and Evasive Action being a strong defensive effect. Next up, he gets a Durin's Plate, which is another good item, a bit like the High Elf Hauberk, gives a lot of troop defense. So can be very useful. I'm not too sure about the set effect Sharp Blade personally, I'm not a huge fan. But less luck in his next 25 until he gets his guaranteed opening, which is a massive breastplate here, unfortunately with the siege effect. Plenty of purple gear coming out here as well, so for those who don't know, purple gear can be sold and used for worn-outs, so to help improve your gold gear. So if you're not already doing that, maybe look into doing so. It can be very useful. Into his next guarantee, he does get a Cask of Pride, which is a brilliant item, definitely the meta for DD commanders at the minute. Divide and Conquer set effect is okay, it's reasonable for reducing damage, though something like Perseverance probably would have been better, but still a very strong meta item here for Bean. And again, he's forced to go all the way until the guaranteed item, this time with Mirkwood Thorns with healing, so for a change, not getting the best luck in the world. He's had a few decent items to go with a few average ones as well, but not the highest pull rate I've ever seen from Bean. So yeah, maybe we'll see something better with his remaining 25 Mathoms as he quickly swaps these over. So what's he going to get with his remaining 25? He's guaranteed to get at least 1 gold here. Nothing 10 in. He does get one with 15, which is the Chieftain's Gaze with agility. Not the best item as it doesn't give initiative, and agility is not the best effect for it, but still reasonably decent. So thank you, Bean, for sending that through to us. Very much appreciated. Next up, we move on to Sherlock and Load, who's provided us with 125 Mathoms worth of footage. Opening up, he doesn't get any luck in his first 5 pulls, so this one is guaranteed to have his gold item. And the first up, he gets a Call of the Forest with Warcry. Call of the Forest, I said earlier, brilliant item, great for initiative. Warcry, not the best effect for it, unfortunately. Of course, you want agility, like was pulled earlier. Another Lang here. We're seeing quite a lot of Langs come out as well. We're seeing a lot of the same items. He does get a double pull, actually. Lang and Gigantic Hammer, which is a great pull. Both troop support items, but could come up good in PvE, particularly the Gigantic Hammer. The Lang also is pretty decent, in my opinion, when used on commanders like Frodo and Sam for the unit defense when they use a taunt unit. But yeah, Gigantic Hammer in PBE could be, after PBE, could be great for any troop support meta that could emerge. After that double pull though, no luck until his 25th pull, but it was worth the wait, pulling an Axe of Khazad-dûm, the meta item at the minute, and Sharp Point is not the worst effect on it at the minute. Of course, with a set of 2 you can get plus 10 attack and plus 24, I think, with a set effect of 2. And on his next 5, he does, in both his next 5s actually, he does pick up 2 new items here. Golden Skin with Perseverance, which is pretty decent actually as well. Kind of a fairly mid-tier item, but certainly not the worst. Perseverance effect is good. So getting some good pulls here. Sherlock, in his next 5, he gets a massive breastplate, this time with, I'm not even sure what set effect that is, some kind of troll support, I'm assuming, or large unit support. Nightstar with Warcry comes up next. He's starting to get those gold items absolutely flowing here. Continuing through, he gets one more item in his last 5 with the Fine Smoking Pipe with Agility. An excellent pull. Probably the meta accessory, or one of the meta accessories for Gandalf the White at the minute. So thank you for that, Sherlock, and congratulations on those great pulls. Moving on again, as we begin to rattle through these, we move on to Bildor, who's opening a massive 120 Mathoms here, so hoping for some good luck in these chests here. Nothing, unfortunately, again, until the guarantee in his first run through, but he does pick up a Blazing Tongue, an item that I, as people know, I'm a big fan of, as it does have a similar maximum damage range to the Axe of Khazad-dûm, though of course doesn't offer quite as much attack, but 27's nothing to be sniffed at. Second item, a Warhelm with Fortitude, could be good again in PBE due to its troop defense. Unfortunately, for the 3rd time running, he's going to be forced to wait until the guarantee to get his item. This time with the Chieftain's Gaze with Might. Reasonable. Unfortunately, Bildor's not quite getting the same luck everyone else is. It's taken 25 chests for his gold items to come out. Berserker's Gaze on his 4th one, and he is rewarded at least with a double pull. This time with Berserker's Gaze and the Cask of Pride, a very strong item, great for troop support. And then on his next pull, he gets a great meta item here with the Sandclaw with Fortitude for that excellent initiative, and Fortitude being a good effect as well. And he does actually get a second Blazing Tongue, which is awesome, so he can get a few refines onto that if he wanted to as well, if he had season rewards as well. Some great pulls in there, despite a little bit of a reduced rate of pull compared to some of the others. Still some great pulls, so thank you for sending that through, Bildor. Next up is Meliodas, who's opening 115 Mathoms. Apologies if I haven't pronounced that correctly, but loves to torture his or herself with the opening animation, but does get rewarded with a double pull straight off the bat with a Black Mace and also a Fortitude Explorer's outfit, which, as I said earlier, is great for initiative, and Fortitude's a very strong effect on that as well, so a very good pull there. Carrying on, not so much luck after the double pull, but does get a second Black Mace actually on the guaranteed pull with Fortitude as well. So yeah, Black Mace is coming in thick and fast for Meliodas. No luck since, but hopefully the remainder of these Mathoms will do well. Fortunately not in the next 5, 2 purple items which can be used for sale. Again, not on the 10th pull or the 15th. This animation is making me laugh how it keeps coming through. So Meliodas can be forced to wait until, again, the guaranteed one, but is she going to be rewarded? She is, with a Sandclaw with evasive action. Another great item. I don't know if you guys are noticing, there's a few items which seem to be coming out more often than others. We've seen a lot of Sandclaws, a lot of Langs. We've seen quite a few High Elf Hauberks. And a double pull, actually, for Meliodas in the next one, with a Might, Cruel Hooks, and a Berserker's Gaze with Fortitude of Uruk-hai. So that's good, and with around 30 Mathoms left, there's another guaranteed item at least. But actually this time gets it before then with a Warborn Battle Plate and another double pull. Quite a few double pulls here coming out with Entdraft Calabash and the Warborn Battle Plate. So yeah, good pulls, and with almost 25 Mathoms left, it's likely she will get at least one more gold item, or I hope so anyway. Unfortunately not in these ones. 7 Mathoms to go. Oh, 2 to go. Let's pray that there is one more gold item in this, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So we'll move on, but thank you for that, Meliodas. We move on now to Fuma, who also loves his opening animation, it seems. Opening, I believe, 100 Mathoms of this chest. So we'll see what he picks up. Nothing in the first few openings, unfortunately, which seems to be a running theme where quite a few people on the first time have to wait until their guarantee and then get a little bit of a late flurry coming in as well. So yeah, 20 Mathoms down, no gold item, but a guarantee here to get one. So let's see what he gets. And he does get another Sandclaw. Once again, that item does seem to be repeatedly coming out for people. Unfortunately, he does get the siege buff, so not probably the worst buff it could have, to be honest, but still a very good item with good initiative and useful for a lot of the meta commanders like Sauron and Gandalf the White. Next 5, he gets a Hunter's Guide with a evasive action. Again, troop support gear, not currently meta, but by no means terrible. Orthanc Devilry, again, good siege item with actually the siege buff as well, so that could be useful for Fuma if he's building a siege team. And in his next 5, he gets, I've been saying the Axe of Khazad-dûm is the meta item. I think the Palantir is up there as well as probably one of the best items. So that is a huge pull for Fuma. Congratulations. And the first time we've seen a Palantir come out of this chest. So, yeah, brilliant pull for Fuma. Congratulations on that one. So, volume seems to be pretty decent here, and actually getting very strong items as well. A Sandclaw and a Palantir so far can be no complaints at all. But drawing up a little bit in this next set, so it looks like he's going to get his guarantee in this one, and he does get an Obsidian Dagger. Again, very meta item for focus damage dealers, and also for anyone focus based as well. So something like Gandalf the White can make great use of the additional focus. So yeah, very meta pulls here coming in for Fuma, so he must be delighted so far. 20 Mathoms to go. Let's see what he can pick out. Nothing in this 5. With this, I think this will take him to 24, so one more pull is the guarantee. So what will he get this time? He does get a Belt of the Citadel. Unfortunately, not as meta as his other items, and unfortunately the poor healing effect as well. And with his next 5, he doesn't get another gold item. But anyway, great pulls there, Fuma. Congratulations. Hopefully you're very happy with that. So last but by no means least, we do have Trident opening 61 Mathoms, and he opens with a Harp of Rivendell. Excellent troop support item, and actually the item I use on my Sauron because I love unit defense on the tank commander, which is how I use my Sauron. No luck, unfortunately, in the next few, but he does pick up a Cruel Hooks, I think, on his next guarantee with Warcry, so a good weapon, probably to be used for strengthening. But another 5 does grant him a Cask of the Submerged Isle, so more great troop support here. Unit defense, again, probably the best item available for a tank commander. So yeah, brilliant unit defense gear coming up to Trident here. Unfortunately, nothing in his next few 5 pulls, but he does then move on to a Miras Rains. Unfortunately with the Siege, but again, great item. So some decent pulls here. Unfortunately, nothing in his last Mathom. And with that, that is everything we are opening. Thank you once again, as I've said all the way through, to everyone who provided the videos here. It is great to be able to provide such a massive Mathom opening so people can see what others are pulling, and also a little bit of discussion around different items. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. And if you're looking to do any Mathom openings, see my creator code down in the description and use the link to buy. It's all sponsored by NetEase, so hopefully you guys can use it to get some great items, and often it's cheaper than the in-game store. With that, I've been HJW Gaming. I really hope to see you on the next one.